Hello out there in podcast land. Thank you for joining us again today for this, your Voice of Friendship Village podcast. We are here in our beautiful studios with another very important guest that we know you'll enjoy listening to and learning about. And so we like to think that we're a program to provide entertainment, but also education. Education about the kind of people that are here, that work here, that live here. And our guest is someone who has worked here and now lives here. And so you'll find her very most informative. And before we go further, we want to identify a sponsor for this podcast program. And it is the receptionists, plural, at Friendship Village. These are all fine young ladies who do us a valuable service and keep us on track and keep us in the know about what's happening and what we need to do and where's this and what time is that, and they know all this stuff, and so we appreciate their good efforts. And So that's our sponsor, and before we introduce our guest, I want to share just a quick joke with you. I hope you'll find it funny. I know not all my jokes are funny, but this one maybe hits the mark. Here it is. This young man, about 10 years old, was this is an evening kind of a thing. He was home on the floor in the living room looking at some school books. He had some homework to get done. And his father was in the easy chair just to his left and enjoying a little peace and quiet after his hectic work day. And so the boy was studying geography, and he came to a point where he wanted to ask his dad a question. So he turned to his father and said, "Hey, Dad, just where are the Alps?" And his father didn't even look up for a moment, and he just gave him a real quick reply. He said, "Son, I think you ought to ask your mother, because she knows where everything is around here."
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of a groaner, huh? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, it takes all kinds. And I could add this little part to it, that this same young man went to school the next day, and his jeans were all wet. And the teacher says, "Billy, how come your jeans are all wet?" And he said, "Well, that's what it says on the label. It says wash and wear." So, all right. Mary's anxious to get us off to a better start here.
Well, I have a couple of little jokes, and they were by, if anybody remembers, Will Rogers.
Will, yes.
Years and years ago. He said, "Even if you are on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there."
If you're on the right track,
he had that kind of dry humor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he said, "Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like."
Oh, gosh.
And then he wrote, "I never met a man I didn't like."
Okay.
And that was a quote I think my dad used quite a bit.
Never met a man I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. Okay, Mary. We have our guest here ready to share. So why don't you introduce her for us?
I will. And I hope I say her name right. Jackie Sverdahl. Sverdahl?
Like a W.
Oh, like a W instead of a V. Jackie Sverdahl.
Sverdahl.
She's my neighbor. She just lives a couple doors down the hall.
How do we know she's right?
Huh?
How do we know she's right? Maybe it's the V sound instead of a W.
I don't know. She had to learn
it. Okay.
She married into it, so she had to learn it. Sverdahl.
Yeah, okay.
It's like swirling.
Okay.
Anyway, that was her married name. She had a single name that was hard, too. Lure?
Jackie Lure. Okay.
Yes. Some people are saddled with a lot of these difficult names, and she's one of them. Anyway, welcome Jackie to our little abode here, and we'll find out quite a bit about you today. Like, where did you begin your life? Where were you born?
Waterloo at Allen Hospital.
Okay.
Right. Good.
And your parents were living here in Waterloo, and you went to school here, I presume.
Yes, went to Whittier, and then West Junior and West High.
Okay. Graduated and went to college?
No,
No.
no.
When did you graduate? What year?
When? What year? 1950.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how old you might be.
Yeah, I had a birthday the other day.
Oh,
Yes, she celebrated her birthday this month.
okay.
And some of her family was here. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
And she's going to birthday supper tonight.
Ah,
So all things are happening today.
yes.
So what did you do after you graduated from high school?
Well, I worked at Rath's in the office, and then I got married, and we moved to Topeka, Kansas, to the air base there, and we lived there for 18 months, and then we came back home, and we had a baby, and so I stayed home with the baby, and my husband worked at the People's Bank.
Okay. And was this baby a girl or boy?
A girl,
A girl.
yeah. He had 2 girls and then a boy.
Okay.
So your husband was in the service at the time you got married?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was, they enlisted, and they got called right away. So,
Oh, okay.
but they were only 18 months. There was another young man that they went together,
Okay.
and so he worked in the payroll.
Okay.
Yeah, he had to go on to Gates College, so he had.
So he had a popular job. he was the payroll dispenser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So he never did see active service anywhere?
No, it was just for 18 months. It was in
Okay.
the reserves.
All right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you came back here and he worked in a bank
Uh-huh.
and you worked at Rath, which was a
Well,
popular place for people to
yeah.
be working at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And then you stayed home with your first one?
Yes, I didn't go back to work until we started in, I think it was 1966 or somewhere in that era, that we started the Homestead House,
Okay.
the gift store.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I did that.
Mm-hmm. That
But
was fun.
Yeah.
That was in Waterloo?
It was over on Kimball in the little strip by Greenwood Drug.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Homestead. I remember that
I do
name.
too.
Is
I
it still
remember.
up? Still going?
No,
No. All right.
no.
So that was one of your jobs.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And you had another girl and then a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where are they now?
Well, the oldest one is in Fairfax, Virginia, and she has 2 daughters and 3 grandchildren, maybe my great-grandchildren. And then Debbie lives in Florida. She's thinking about coming back to Iowa. And then my son lives in Florida also. He has 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the family.
How did they all get to the East Coast?
Well, I don't know. The first one, the one that's in Virginia, is married to an Air Force man, and so they lived all over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mostly United States, but they did go to Germany. And then when he had 30 years in the Air Force, and when he retired, they were in Virginia, and the girls were in junior high and senior high. So they decided they'd just stay there so they didn't have to move them again. And then after he got out of the Air Force, he worked at the Pentagon. He did Air Force law at the Pentagon.
Wow. Okay.
And the other two just went to Florida. I don't know if there was a reason, but
Well, they like it there, evidently.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, they've stayed there all these years. It's
Yeah.
been,
And have you been able to go visit all of them at times?
yes, yeah, way back when I could.
Yeah. When the days of traveling were
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
when we
Yeah.
could travel.
Yes.
Well, Mary, you said that some of Jackie's kids were here?
Yeah. Which
recently?
one was just here?
Oh, the oldest one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then my oldest granddaughter was here. All they were together.
Okay.
Came together.
They came for your birthday, I bet.
They came for my birthday. Yes.
Oh, neat.
The other two couldn't come right now, but maybe this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and the two Virginia grandchildren. Well, my oldest daughter and the granddaughter who is here, they own a gift store,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what they do all day. And then the next grandchild is involved with teaching, and I know she's got a couple things she does. And her husband's a teacher also.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep busy. Everybody does.
Right.
All
Yeah.
have something to do.
And you keep in contact with them by phone,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a computer or iPad and FaceTime.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
Not much. I'm not big on all this equipment.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. It's a lot of fun
Yeah.
when you do it.
Yeah, well, and then Courtney, the one with the store, she always puts, every day she puts a picture of a display and a little,
Okay.
so that's always fun to see,
Oh,
and in the gift store.
Right.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Did she
Well,
grow
well-
up in the gift store here with
Yeah.
you in
Yeah.
Homestead House?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where she got the feeling of,
Yeah,
I like that kind of work.
uh-huh.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So then what does your daughter and son both do in Florida?
Well, Debbie works in a office at where they make those big white sewer pipes. I don't know what
Okay.
you call them,
Right.
okay.
but
I call them big white sewer pipes.
yeah, good. I'm glad somebody else. That's the only way I can explain it.
Okay.
Must be
And
a manufacturing company there.
yes, and then when she comes back to Waterloo, which is probably going to be this spring, she can work from home.
Yeah.
So she's going to work a little more. but-
My son does that when he comes to visit me.
Uh-huh.
He sets up an office out in the dining room, plugs everything in, and he works while I'm busy doing my thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then Jeff works for a company who has something to do with the highway lights,
Oh.
you know, the street lights.
Mhm.
And I'm not exactly sure what
Yeah.
it is he does, but it's something about that.
Right.
Okay.
So.
And do those two live close to each other down there, or are they different?
Debbie lives in Port St. Lucie and Jeff lives in Palm Beach Gardens, and it's not that far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think it's maybe a half hour or
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I haven't been down for a long time, so I don't
Right.
remember how long it took to get each place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll go back to you because we know that you used to work here at Friendship Village.
Yeah.
When did you start working here?
In May of 1991.
Okay. And you were a receptionist.
Well, I started out doing activities.
Okay.
I did activities for the two buildings,
Okay.
and then the receptionist retired, and so I took that job.
Right.
So I was a receptionist until 2012.
Okay.
That's 13
So when
years.
somebody says, how long have you been here or lived here? I go, I don't know, 30 some years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't live here when
I
you...
moved in 2009. So I lived here and worked here both for a while.
Okay. That was handy then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Get up and go to work right in the same building.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And again, like we know, receptionists wear many hats. Because they have to cover all kinds of
Yes.
bases here and
Lots of questions. And,
oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
solve a lot of problems for people, and
Uh-huh.
so you got to know many,
Well, they're
many
supposed
people.
to know everything.
Oh yeah,
That's
they do.
kind of what I think when I walk up to the desk and have
We're
a
supposed
question.
to know everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
And then they put that PIPA law in where you couldn't tell people.
yes,
And some of them would get quite angry.
if you couldn't tell them something, right?
Yeah, they didn't understand the law.
No,
No, so, yeah.
you have to explain it to them.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But, yeah.
So what made you retire from your job then?
I was 80.
Oh, okay. You figured there's time to quit, time to retire.
Yeah.
And have you always lived in the same apartment?
I started out in a one-bedroom, and then I moved to this about 4 years, maybe later.
Right.
Okay. So your current one is two bedroom?
It's a two-bedroom, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived down the hall.
Jackie was the hostess when we had that. It was kind of a Friday night. Come to my house and have a little breakfast snack.
Oh,
or-
yes, the other,
Mhm.
yeah, a month or so ago. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The dessert night?
Yeah,
The Sunday
dessert
night, dessert night.
No,
Yeah.
it was that Friday night.
Was it on
Dessert?
Friday?
Friday night.
It was
Friday
yeah,
night.
it was
Yeah.
Friday night, and Phil furnished the dessert because he couldn't do it at the last minute, so I did it. We had a good time.
Yeah.
So she had a cute little table there with chairs and all the fixings, and
Yeah.
it looked really.
Got the china out, and the hall
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
looked
I went to
inviting.
one of them too at Lucy Harris's apartment, and that was all
Uh-huh.
done up real fancy
Yeah.
with coffee cups and
Well, yeah. Well, her daughter is very talented, so
Mhm.
she helps do that.
and she had a really nice dessert too.
Yeah.
That was a fun thing to do. I hope they repeat that again
Yeah,
sometime.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like being the guest.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fun because I hadn't done anything like
I
that
know.
for a long time.
It
And,
kind of encourages people to
Yeah.
do that.
and they only had 3 people, so it was,
1, 2, 3. I think she had 4 or 5.
yeah.
So we filled up her table anyway.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know who else had them, but anyway,
I don't know, there was somebody, I know of one other person, but I don't know if there were any more than that.
yeah. Now, are you involved in activities here? Means you did activities before, you were an activities
Yeah.
person? Have you?
Well, I don't do bingo because I called bingo every Thursday night for several years. And I'm tired of bingo.
Oh, and you're very involved with the library here, too.
Yeah, we do the library, and I keep track of people who for volunteers.
You do the volunteer
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to exercise class
I
because
go
you're
to
there when I'm
exercise.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try to get there every time. Do what I want to do.
Right, that's our option here. You know, they provide us with many activities, and you can pick and choose whatever you want to do. Be as active as you want or not. If you choose to relax in your own apartment and do your own thing, that's perfectly fine.
Yep.
If you want to get out and socialize with
A
people,
way I like to say it is you can be as busy as you want to be. Because there certainly are a lot of opportunities to.
well,
to
that's what they try
volunteer
to
to
do
do-
is
yeah,
provide
just-
these opportunities.
Yeah.
When you were activities coordinator, did you plan trips for people to take?
Yes. Yeah.
Where were some of the places you went?
Well, every year we did the apple trip up to no, I can't remember the name of the town in Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
and we did that every fall, and people could buy the apples up there, and I stopped and ate someplace, and let's see, we went to.
Did you have anything to do with the trip to Ireland?
No, I didn't do those great big trips.
Oh, okay.
I just did the ones around here. We had a mystery trip every year,
Mm-hmm.
and went several places.
They still do that, don't they?
Mm-mm. Not a mystery
No,
trip.
they don't do that. Well,
They
people
did
aren't-
one a couple years ago, I think they did one. And
Okay.
I went on one. We went to eastern Iowa to, I don't know, it was Clinton or someplace down there. Went to a museum or something.
Mhm.
And that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to Cedar Rapids, but anyway, each year we would go someplace.
Mhm.
It was one day.
Right.
I mean,
A day mystery
part
trip.
of a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one day, we went to Clear Lake.
Well, I wanted to ask you if you at all worked with or had a recollection of my mother, Kate,
What was her name?
Kate Porter.
Oh, she worked in the office?
Yeah.
Yes. She was already gone when I started working, but she must have come back for something because I do remember her.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Good.
What did she do in the office then?
Some bookkeeping.
I'm not really
Assignment, I think.
sure either.
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it had some job in the
Mhm.
office.
Then for a while she was kind of a receptionist for
Yeah.
Yeah, I
dinners.
think she was.
Yeah.
I think she might have substituted a couple of times or something. Yes, I did. I do remember her. Yes.
She liked that end of things,
Mm-hmm.
being able to
Meeting
to greet
people
the
and
people,
things,
greet
yeah.
the people,
Mhm.
and tell them how handsome they looked.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So
Takes a lot of people to run those offices.
yeah.
It's not just one sitting there at the desk. I mean,
No.
there's a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, when I first started, we didn't have computers.
no.
So when I do a bus, in those days we had a lot of people go places, and we had 2 15-passenger vans
Mhm.
that the other gal who was working in the office also, she would drive one and I would drive one, and sometimes we'd have so many people go that we would each take a load and then come back and get another load.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like the programs they used to have at West High,
Mm-hmm.
the music programs.
Right.
And then they also had that travel program. So we took them to that too,
Mm-hmm.
and we took them out to eat on Friday nights, and I said to the other gal, it was Larry Spreel, and we would take these people out to eat, and they just loved it. But we went on Friday nights, and I said, why are we going on Friday nights as the busiest night? So we changed it to Monday.
Right.
So it was less confusing and not so many people.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes
But-
sense. Yeah.
It was fun.
We still like to go out and eat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they try to plan one a month that we can go out and eat, and it's always kind of fun to pick up the vibes and the schedule and say, oh, where are we going to eat this month?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If it's something you like, or if you don't care for it, you don't have to go.
That's right.
And we usually have 18, 20
Mhm.
people or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
recently, one of my favorite ones was when we went up in the Amish country and ate at that farmhouse. That was so
that's
much
fun.
fun. That was real, and the food was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So they're hoping we can go back again sometime.
Yeah. We went someplace south of here to a house for dinner a couple of times. That was so many years ago. I don't remember. Why
Did you keep a diary of things at that
No,
time?
I didn't. I should have.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's always fun to look back and see where you might have been.
That's why I can't remember every place we went. But
No.
yes.
And again, you weren't prepared that we'd ask you all these questions today either.
Yes.
No.
It's kind of hard to. We don't really have a format. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
So we don't know what people. That's what we find out. We're finding out about what people did and where they went and who they encountered. I was thinking when you were telling about some of these trips, maybe some of the older people that have lived here a long time, the people that have lived here a long time might remember some of those trips that you went on.
Yes.
So that'll kind of jog their memories.
Well, when I started, the cove was new.
Right.
It was 1 year old. And so we had a lot of people who liked to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's...
Not so much anymore.
No. So it's harder for the girls to find things to do that everybody can participate.
Right.
Mhm.
That's how times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's still a great place to live.
Yes, it is. It's
And
a
usually
wonderful
we
place.
ask someone that is younger, that doesn't live here. Phil says, can you see yourself moving here in future years? Well, you already live here, so we won't ask that question.
Yeah.
No, it is a wonderful place. It's, you can do what you want to do, and if you don't want to come out of your apartment, you don't have to.
No,
And
we make it our home.
we always get a meal a day, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so if you don't want to cook, you don't have to cook. And,
I don't cook,
No,
very rarely.
I think I've forgotten how.
Yeah.
Well, we are about at the end of our time here.
Okay.
My goodness,
Mhm.
it goes by quickly when
It does. It does.
when you're having fun, as they say. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, yes.
Any closing thoughts or anything you'd like the audience who will hear this, you'd like them to know about you? Anything particular?
No, I can't think of anything that
Okay.
would be
You
of
seem to
interest.
have a good outlook on life, and you've found life to be happy and
Yeah.
rewarding, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, you just have to adjust to certain things. And,
Right.
And
Roll with the punches.
Roll-
you
yeah,
might
that's
say.
right.
Someone
Just
might say, yeah.
go along.
Gaps. Okay.
No, and I think many of the families are so thankful that we're being taken care of,
Mhm.
and they know that they can rest a
Yeah.
little without worrying about.
Mine did too. They feel I'm in a very safe place,
Mm-hmm.
for one thing, well taken care of, especially with our life care program that we have.
Yes,
That's a
wonderful.
lifesaver.
Yes.
Yes. So they feel very glad that we've all made the move here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and we try to encourage others to come visit us and learn about how we live,
Mm-hmm.
so that in future years more people will come.
That's right. So we're going to close
Okay.
now, and we usually close this way by saying, "May the good Lord bless and keep you until we meet once again. Bye for now."
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.